Hi, my name is Natasha Ntshweng. I'm 28 years of age and I'm from Alexandra. I grew up in Alexandra with my sisters. I've got two sisters. My older sister's name is Maureen, younger one is Denise. Growing up, we grew up basically just the three of us because my mother passed away when we were still young. I was only 14 when she passed away. So after she passed away, I think we were forced to grow up really fast and just try and be independent at a very young age. Originally, we're from Limpopo, so at around that age, my grandmother was the one that took over to look after us and just try and be there. So we would occasionally visit her in Limpopo on school holidays, and she would also come see us whenever she had the time in Alexandra. As you know, growing up was not really the best experience, but we just had to adjust and just try and find a way to overcome challenges that were thrown at us. Fast forwarding to 2011, unfortunately my granny as well passed away, and it was a very sad moment at the time as well, because I remember we were close with my grandmother more than we were close with my mother. So I think her passing away, that experience, I think that really hit us hard. But we just adjusted as well because we always knew that, it's just the three of us and we just had to be strong for one another. 2015, luckily as well, I was hired as a permanent position at African Bank, and I set a target for myself that come in 4 months' time, I need to buy myself a car. I remember it was the 1st of July when I got my first car. Happiest moment of my life. 2 weeks down the line, my sisters and I decided to go back home in Limpopo. As black people, that's normally what we do when you get your first car. You would want to go home. Saturday morning, it was the 18th of July. The 18th of July, we decided to drive to Limpopo. I think 30 minutes away from Groblersdal. Groblersdal is the nearest town around Mutlautwan, which is the place in Limpopo. We were 13 minutes away, and I remember my sister saying to me that the car is no longer moving straight, but I couldn't notice anything. And the next minute, the car had rolled. It rolled 3 times. And when I woke up, the car was upside down. My sisters managed to get out of the car, but I got stuck in the car. My head got stuck in between the steering wheel, which resulted to me to breaking my neck 3 times. And I broke my neck. The higher part, which makes me a C4. C4 being quadriplegic, meaning that I've got no functions of both my hands and my legs. The accident happened around Limpopo, so I was transferred to a hospital. The name of the hospital, I think it was Philadelphia. I'm not sure. I think it was Philadelphia. And then when we got there, I was airlifted to a hospital in Benoni, Sunshine Hospital, which I stayed there for 2 months, if I'm not mistaken. I remember being there. I couldn't breathe on my own. I had pipes coming out of my mouth. I was fed through tubes. Due to the severity of the injury, I lost bowel control. I lost urine control, meaning that I'm on a catheter 24/7. I now wear diapers because I've got no control of my system as well. So it was a very tough time at that time, whereas I questioned my entire existence as to if really I'm meant to be in this world, then why should I go through all of this? I've got no function of my hands, I've got no function of my legs, then why am I still alive? What was the whole point of me surviving that accident? Why didn't I just die in that accident? But I guess God had a bigger plan, or God saw. I don't know why I survived, but each day I just wake up and just push through each and every day and just pray to God, just to give me strength and just to see light at the end of the tunnel. After 2 months in being in hospital, I was transferred to a rehabilitation center in Kensington, which I spent 5 months there as well, where they were rehabilitating my sisters as well as to how to accept this new situation, how to transfer me, how to live with someone who is now on a wheelchair and has to depend on someone else for 24/7. I remember this one time when I was in rehab, the physiotherapist there, they were like, maybe you should move into a home where you'll have care 24/7. And my sisters was just like, no, we will take care of her. We will be there for her. She doesn't have to go to a home. It was just really tough. But I'm just thankful for my sisters. They've always been there for me. And I'm just thankful for them. A lot of people in my life that I thought that, would be there for me and support me through this entire situations, they left, and it's fine. I guess maybe their part of their story in my journey ended when I left the previous hospital, and in being in the rehabilitation center made me see that not everyone is going to be there for you. You just have to pick up yourself up and just choose to move on. I'm lost in my own thoughts, I'm sorry. Okay. 5 months within being in rehab, I went back home, back in Alexander, and my sisters had to now started looking for helpers who would be able to come in and help me, bathe me, feed me, and just start to doing little things that I used to do on my own, things that I used to take for granted, things like just getting a glass of water. Those are things that every day I miss, just having to wake up in the middle of the night when I'm thirsty and just go get a glass of water and drink water. Because sometimes, when it's after midnight and people are sleeping, the thought of just having to wake up someone else and ask them, can you get me a glass of water? It makes you realize that you are now on a different lane, you are now living a different life, and you can't expect everyone to understand. Only those that want to be in your life are the ones that will understand, and those are the ones that will be there for you and stick throughout the whole situation with you. I remember one morning I asked my helpers to help wash my hands, and she poured boiling water in the dish, and then she soaked my hands into the boiling water. So to my surprise was, because I've got no sensation on my entire body, I could see my fingers changing color, and I asked her if the water was hot, and she said to me, no, it was not hot. only to find out that the water was actually hot. And when she saw my sister walking in, that's when she started diluting the water so that it could be lukewarm. Then my sister noticed my hands, they had blisters all over, and the blisters were so, like, it was so intense that we went to the hospital. When we got to the hospital, the doctors told me that I had to be admitted. The following morning, I went to theater so that they could scrub my fingers, and I was in hospital for a month because of the severity of the burns. And it was just one of those moments that I thought to myself that, you know, you tell yourself that you've hit rock bottom after everything that you've been through, and then you see that it's always going to be one rock bottom after another. It never stops. I've chosen to give my pain a voice. I've chosen to go back to school, you know, and just to show people that with or without the function of my hands and legs, it's still possible to dream big. My mind is still alive. I might have injured my spinal cord, but I didn't injure my brain. I didn't injure my way of thinking, the way that I used to think when I was still able to walk and use my hands. It is possible as long as you set your mind on it, and, you know, just like, if you're going through the most, don't dwell too much on that pain. I choose not to be defined by this wheelchair. This wheelchair does not define who Natasha is, and I want you to see that this wheelchair will not define me, and only the perfect eyes will see just how perfect I am, sitting just right here. Hi, I'm Natasha Ntshweng, and I have been through the most.